India is the company that we're going to talk about now. Their accounts have been falsified. FY16, there's a big loss that the company has posted to the tune of 1120 crores. JN Gupta, and there's some capital restructuring plans as well. So that may be the slight silver lining. JN Gupta, the former ED of SEBI, joins us now. And we have our corporate editor, Varinder Bansal, also. Varinder, take it away.
Mr. Gupta, what is your sense now after two announcements coming in yesterday from Ricoh India? One was the losses what they announced, and second was the capital restructuring.
See, one thing is very clear, that there is something wrong with the company.
Of course.
And the losses have been. But the other thing which is not clear, what is the period of losses when the entire fraud process started. If you look at all the announcement from the company, if you see everything, they have been saying that auditor have been looking from account from 1st April 2015 onwards and something. If you see their filing in 19th May 2016, they said up to September they have done and their losses such that much. But on the other hand, they are saying, auditor is saying, even the management thinks that we are not confident about So my issue is that either there is some attempt to shield the management which is prior to 1st April 2015 or something is wrong. As regards the capital restructuring is concerned, see, the fraud has two outcomes. One is the loss, other is the crime that has been committed. So the management at least is trying to recoup the loss that the shareholders had. They are feeling that there is a moral responsibility. The promoters are saying that we are going to recoup the loss.
So actually that was my point, Mr. Gupta. Should we give a benefit of doubt that the promoter seems to be coming clean and saying, I am giving 1100 crore. I am willing to cancel my shares, either of the group companies will cancel shares and we will enter at a higher price. You know, Varinder was giving a calculation that if they do bring 1100 crore after cancelling even one of the promoter group shares, either NRG or Ricoh, then they will actually come at probably 400 rupees a share. So should we say that the company is openly admitting its, the promoter is, willing to compensate for the losses that the Indian unit has done? Or do you think that there is still more losses than they are admitting, so you're not quite happy with the promoter?
See, no, I would not say that I am not happy with the promoter or something. I am saying very simply that the fraud has two components. One is the loss component. And the management of the promoters are saying that, look, this is the X amount of loss as on date, and we feel moral responsibility. We are recouping it. First by cancelling it and by subscribing it, so that we are putting that X is the loss, I am putting X money back. The other is the criminal aspect of the loss. Now, the criminal aspect of the law, it should not be a plea bargaining that since I am putting 1100 crores, all the crimes have been wiped out. If you see the filing, they have said very clearly that all these things should be done, and they have also said one thing, there should not be any coercive action by the regulatory authorities or police authority. Now, that is a very significant point, and which I support, because many a times it happened about the law agencies take actions which closes the economic activity, so which causes further losses. So here the management is saying that let us continue. You continue your criminal aspect. We have already filed the complaint. Let us criminal aspect be done. We are putting it. But my issue is different, that why the limitation is only from 1st April. And secondly, I am not comfortable that how such loss could have been caused. Because if you see the accounts, it is not possible in a balance sheet which is or 1,200 crore. How can the 1100 crore loss could have been, unless until the entire universe was colluding with somebody to cause this loss, and how the bankers were giving out money.
I have a question for you. Like I totally understand, on a 1600 crore revenue, how can you have 1100 crore loss on a 1200 crore balance sheet? But I want to know, what is the role of a regulator in all this? We haven't seen any action coming from anyone, be it, case of Ricoh India, be it case of Mandhana Industries, Tree House, there has been no action. Like, as you said, this is criminal in nature, that all the people who are behind it we don't know anything about it, what was the conspiracy or anything, or any action by anyone taken since last, 2 or 3 years since we have seen all these cases coming up?
Okay, I will answer this. First, you are addressing the question to the wrong person. I am no more a regulator, so I cannot answer on
But
behalf
at
of
least
regulator.
you may have a sense
Being
of...
a regulator, I would say the regulator doesn't go to the market and announce what I am doing in a case. So if anything SEBI is doing, it must be doing, and it will be, because regulator will only come out with findings. Regulator does not give day-to-day bulletin that where we stand. Yes, I would say that these are the cases which you have highlighted, and Treehouse, especially Treehouse and G merger, where we have been feeling that something was wrong right from beginning and people were aware, but nobody had done something. As far as Ricoh India, the biggest point we have missed is the role of rating agency. If you see the rating agency, India Rating upgraded the rating in January 2016, something or 23rd January, when the audited accounts were not available for September.
Okay, they just gave us a view only on phone, not on mail, that only that particular instrument they upgraded because it was fully backed by the promoter. It was not a comment on the overall company, but only on that instrument.
No, Lata, I agree. My point is very simply that a rating agency doesn't work on an instrument-to-instrument basis. A rating agency has given a rating, and unless until you have seen, it is any one of us, we are not in the rating business, but the fact that we know that the accounts have not come, it has been delayed by 6 months or something, then it is a wake-up call. And on the other hand, we are doing is rating, something is amiss somewhere.
On the case of what we are talking, look at Mandhana, okay? The damage is already done from 600 to 60 rupees and no one knows what is happening. I understand that regulator can't come into each and everything, but it's just surprising the way things are happening. Even Ricoh, who has to question that Mr. Manoj, who was coming again and again on the channel and saying that nothing is wrong with the company, nothing at all is wrong with the company. And now we have 1100 crore losses by the company reported. And the man who was the MD and once CFO also, he says nothing is wrong. Like, how can we even believe what they're saying?
Varinder, I agree with you. The problem is this: we do not really come to the finishing line of a case. Say, for example, Treehouse also. I remember very clearly sitting in this room with Mr. Bhatia was there, and we had pointed out their wrong accounting, and he confirmed to us in writing that it is there and clarified. And we told them that please send a audited clarification. He did not do, and the Treehouse share came from 400, 500 rupees to 26, 50 rupees or something like that. So I agree. My point is that the regulator has to do some cases to the finishing line, punish the person so that the signal goes in the market.
So, unfortunately, we're out of time on Bazaar. Thank you very much for dropping by and explaining what other doubts that you have on the Ricoh share itself. That's it on Bazaar. Thanks for watching. Chartbusters in a minute.